Boy, boy. Some people just don't get it. And some people just don't learn. And Stephen A. Smith is turning out to be one of those people. At this point, Stephen A., you need to just say you're a Republican. Not that you're just fiscally conservative. Because Stephen A. Smith still don't get it. Stephen A. Smith has once again misread the room. And instead of listening to his peers and contemporaries, Stephen A. Smith gets on his own platform 11 days after getting the thumbs down award from the NABJ, goes on another tangent. And who does he once again become inspired by? Who does he once again run to? His friends on the right. This time, his black friends on the right. Instead of talking to the people that you have a problem with, instead of listening to the community that you say that you belong to, you once again run to the other side, to the people that don't like people that look like you, but they are people that look like you. This $100 million contract from ESPN has taken Stephen A. Smith into another stratosphere. This is what happens when people get rich late in life. Stephen A. Smith thinks he is the end all be all when it comes to sports commentators. Stephen A. Smith thinks that he is somebody more important than he truly is. And it's not the problem that Stephen A. Smith didn't read the room. It's the problem that he's still trying to prove a point that has been debated a million times. And when an entire community of people who cared about you, who supported you, who have been with you every step of the way, are telling you, hey, you made a misstep and you don't want to accept it, and you keep drifting further and further onto that other side, sooner or later, you're going to get that Negro wake-up call. Them same people at ESPN, they're going to turn on you too. You've been fired from ESPN once. It ain't like they won't fire you again. And you keep continuously telling us about all the people that you've helped, all the people that you've stood up for. But all those people that you've helped at ESPN are no longer at ESPN. Almost everybody that you've talked about, said that you've helped bring along and given an opportunity, are no longer there. But you still there. Why is that? Why is that? Stephen A. Smith is venturing further and further to the other side because money has ruined him. Money has ruined him. We respected Stephen A. Smith for his grind, for all the hard work that he's putting in to get where he's at now. But now that he's there, it's seeming that he's turning his back on his people. Seeming that he has a problem with us, but you ain't got that same energy for them. You asking for the receipts when the receipts have been given. It's on tape. They've been proportionally blown out millions of times. Stephen A. Smith think he's more important than he really is. Stephen A. Smith think he's that guy. And of all people to use as your protector and as an example of people that are with you, you chose Brandon Tatum. That's the wrong guy. That is definitely the wrong guy. Stephen A. Smith is upset that the NABJ gave him the thumbs down award. And he's still crying about it. He's still asking for the receipts. The receipts have been shown millions of times on this internet. Anywhere you want to look at them, you can find them. But Stephen A. went on his own platform and chose to turn up on us like this.
We live in the microwave society. Everything is about now. Everything is seemingly instantaneous. Why am I waiting for 11 days for the receipts? Where are they? Where? I've got black women here working for me. I'm going to name them by name. I'll give you a few of them. Sherry, Tisha, Solange, Sumatra, Betty, Jennifer. Where are the receipts? I'm bringing up their names because they didn't want me to do this. Let it die down. Let it go, Stephen. I mean, people know. They know. I had my daughter, my Nyla, say to me, Daddy, forget them. Don't pay any attention to that. We know it's not true. We know how much you love us and we love you. We know how you were raised, Daddy. Don't pay attention to that. And perhaps after I tape this show today, I will. I had my Samantha while enrolling her in college. She said, Daddy, you say some crazy things sometimes. This ain't one of them. You never did this. This is a lie. They trying to gain clout off of your name. I don't care. It's the lowest blow I've ever received in this industry. No facts, nothing whatsoever. You're a journalist organization and you would do this. And I'll get to some of these people who are supposed to be journalists who have failed to point out that you have no receipts. I'll get to themselves in a second. Let me also bring up somebody that's seemingly unpopular in the black communities these days in Officer Tatum. Let's show what Officer Tatum, with nearly 4 million subscribers on his YouTube channel, by the way, let's play what he had to say and then I'll respond. Take it away.
If you're not a black journalist who they agree with, you don't count. So it's really not supportive of black journalists. It's supportive of liberal black journalists. And how do you know that, Mr. Tatum? My instincts showed it. And then what they did to Stephen A. Smith proved it. They are disavowing a man who dedicated his entire life to being a voice for black people and breaking through multiple barriers in sports commentary. More so than anybody else in the world history or American history. But because he disagrees and has an opinion about a certain group of people or certain things that he's said about politicians who are dirtbags, all of a sudden they reject this black man. He don't count. Shame on them. You see how they do you? You can dedicate your whole life to support. You do one thing that don't align with their woke agenda, all of a sudden you don't count as a black person, no matter what you've done in the black community. This is how they treat you. And then you wonder why people like Stephen A. Smith and others are being like, dude, I'm not finna dedicate all of my time to just black people. I'm gonna dedicate my time to good people. I'm gonna dedicate my time to people who need the resources that I have to give.
Now, let me say this. I want to thank Officer Tatum for saying what he just said. I appreciate that. And ladies and gentlemen, let me be the first to tell you, Officer Tatum has been a guest on this show on a couple of occasions. I don't agree with everything he says. I don't like the fact that he utters they, as opposed to us, because we both black. I don't like what I'm seeing from him online right now, and I'll talk to him about it when I see him or when we talk. I don't like when when he was talking about our former first lady and addressing her looks. I don't like that at all. Be bigger than that. Be better than that. I don't agree with everything he says. But I'm also sensitive to the fact that as a black individual, in his case, who happens to be conservative and unapologetically so, and the amount of vitriol that he has received over the years from our community, combined with the fact that he's a former police officer, so God knows what he has seen in the streets, whether it be Arizona, California, anywhere else that he has worked, I'm mindful and sensitive to that. So even though I disagree with some of the things that he says and does, the why also matters. And to see him point out the unfairness that was aimed in my direction, I appreciate that. I do. See, I can disagree with him and still have a conversation with him. He can disagree with me, which he has in the past, and still have a conversation with me. It doesn't have to be all of those other things. I don't even like when he calls Don Lemon Juice. I don't think that's necessary. I think that's evidence of venom and vitriol as opposed to objectivity. I don't think it's necessary for him to do that, but that's my opinion. That's not a reason for me to go out and to castigate him across the board involving every single thing that he says and ignore some facts that he might drop along the way. Because I'm a journalist by trade. Yeah, I've graduated and I'm a pundit and I'm a columnist and I'm a commentator and all of that, but I'm a journalist by trade. That means I can't have the typical attitude of a motherfucker off the streets just running my goddamn mouth. I gotta make sure I have an idea what I'm talking about, or at least say, based on the evidence that I know, here's what I think. People forgot to do that. And again, I'll get to their asses in a second.
Man, listen here. Stephen A. Smith, you picking the wrong fight. You are fighting a winless battle. Because when an entire community is telling you, look here, man, you just wrong. The receipts have been shown. You just don't want to accept them. But then you run to a person, a guy, like Officer Tatum, who has protected you, who used you as an example to say that black people are a monolith. Not that you were right. He wasn't protecting you or sticking up for you because of what you are or who you are to the community. Because he don't claim to be a part of this community. So why are you upset with him when he uses they? When he uses they because he's not part of us. That's the difference. And you on a daily basis are starting to show that you don't want to be part of us because your actions, because you don't want to accept the fact that you were checked by your peers, by your contemporaries, by a group of journalists that you were supposed to so-called respect with journalistic integrity, when that group of people are telling you that you did something wrong. You don't want to respect it because you think you are above everybody else. Because you, Stephen A. Smith, that ain't supposed to happen to me. I'm not supposed to get the thumbs down award because I've been 2 times in 2 years in a row, I brought my show. That don't mean you above being checked. You're supposed to respect their opinion. Because you're a journalist, what you just said. And you don't respect your peers. You don't respect the black people can't check you. But when Trump calls you dumber than a box of rocks, you ain't got no smoke for that. When Michelle Beadle is telling you that she wants your demise, 100%, you ain't got no smoke for them. When anybody on the right has something negative to say about Stephen A. Smith, you ain't got no smoke. But you got smoke for Michelle Obama. But you got smoke for Jamel Hill. You got smoke for Serena Williams. You got smoke for Kamala Harris. You got smoke for all these black ladies. And when your contemporaries, when your peers, when the people that you say you respect the most say you have went too far, you got smoke for them. But you ain't got no smoke for Anton Daniels. You ain't got no smoke for Brandon Tatum. Those are the people you run to. Sean Hannity, Fox News. You know what I'm saying? Your actions say that you don't want to be one of us. You want to talk about all the black people you hired, all the black people you helped, all the black people. Well, continue that same, take your check and respect it and redo your actions. You talking about people want to use your name for views. There's people on YouTube that get more views than you. Just because you on TV means nothing. You don't get half the views these people get. There's people on YouTube getting 30, 40, 50 million views a month. You don't even get the views Shannon Sharp get on YouTube. You don't get the views Brian Tyler Cohen get on YouTube. The Midas Touch, Black Politics. It's a lot of channels that do numbers. But they not as arrogant as you. They not as stuck up as you. When they get checked, they take their check and correct their actions. But you think you are above that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Stephen A. Smith's biggest problem. We're going to get out of here, man. This is unbelievable. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn your post notification bell on. So you know when your boy is going live or dropping this heat. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A. Smith is ridiculous. He keeps saying how much respect and love he got for our community. But more and more every day, he's showing how much he wants to be a part of their community. Your boy Snacks is out of here, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace to free guy.
Big snacks, big snacks, big snacks, big snacks, big snacks, big snacks, big snacks. Let's go. Big snacks, big snacks, yeah. Big snacks, big snacks. Before you go, hit that like and subscribe. Join the family, come along for the ride. Sports, culture, life, yeah, we talk it all. From the Browns to the Buffs, every rise and fall. See you aunties, I appreciate the love. Big snacks. Fox in the building, man. It's all aboard. G. Bush, K-Sap, Auntie Faye in the mix. Mag Dog TV, Money Man, that's the click. Hey, hit that bell, ding, don't miss a thing. Hey, leave a comment, talk to me, let your voice ring.